We got a second opinion on the tires for the trailer, and it seems that we should be okay. We just need to replace some parts and we should be able to make the drive fine. We're still going to lower some of the weight by getting rid of the garage, but we're going to replace the drums and repack the bearings, and then we should be good to go. Get a little stronger tires.
1 month of packing just to drive 50 miles and have to repack it all. With the garage kit gone, this whole front of the trailer right here is now going to be empty, so we can kind of reassess how that's being done, which ends up being pretty good because inside of the camper we still have a decent amount in the aisle here. So if we're able to take all of this and put it onto the trailer, that means that we can actually sleep in our camper again. And we did find out that we can open up the door and squeeze in enough with it still hooked up to the jack. So the tailgate can come down enough against this that we can kind of like squeeze through the door to get in there to sleep. Cody's spreading out our gigantic tarp, which I'm super excited to see all fully spread out because we never actually did that in our yard because it was just way too big. But it is 30 feet by 50 feet. Well, our goal was to leave by 10 o'clock. And it's 10 o'clock. And we're still in Rice Lake in our car. Soon, though. It is 10:55 and we are just starting to move forward. So my parents are gonna follow us for about 4 miles and then they're gonna leave. She seems happy. So this is what our situation looks like so far. We've got a fake plant to try to make it feel like home because it is home. Our water bottles, food, papers, some candy that I got from one of my girls at the gym. We have a battery bank, a dog that takes up a lot more space than she should, and then up here we are jam-packed with clothes, food, and emergency supplies. We made it to North Dakota on day 1 of driving, and first things first, I would just like to proudly announce that we have all 8 of our tires accounted for. None of them pull off, which is awesome. We stopped about every 50 miles for basically the first 300 miles and checked all of the lug nuts.
Hey, wait. Calm down.
I'm not trying to play with you, I'm just trying to pet you. Be nice to me.
And someone's a little crazy from being cooped up in the vehicle all day, but... Hi! What do you think of the drive? Oh my goodness. Why don't you eat some food, please? We're trying to get her to eat. She hasn't eaten anything yet. But she's kind of weird about that, so who knows if she's going to. Day 1, what are your thoughts?
Trailer's pulling a lot easier than I expected it to be. We've stopped a lot to check on the lug nuts on the tires. But this last time seems we don't need to tighten them anymore, so we should be good from here on out, I would think. Also, our gas consumption is a lot better than we expected in the first place, so we've been doing all right on that, and I think we're making some pretty good time.
Yeah, it's good. I feel like we're ahead of schedule, but we're actually just kind of right on schedule. So, but we're making it, which is good. So, I don't know. Cody's doing all of the driving, so it's been decided. I don't want to. So far there's only been one thing that we forgot to bring with us and accidentally left at my parents' house in Rice Lake, and those were my work boots. But hopefully we will get those shipped up to me as soon as we get a mailing address. Oh, bottomed out a little bit there. Close to turning off to go to the border, and our brand new shiny windshield has a new crack in it.
It's just a chip, not a crack.
Okay, it's a chip, but still, it's a little frustrating. Yeah. We're only on day 2. This drive has been terrible. It's super boring.
It's not that bad.
It's just been fields. At least the weather has been super nice, but Canada!
We're not in yet.
I know, but you can see it. No stopping on pavement, no double parking. We made it to Canada! And we did not have to go through our trailer at all. So we didn't have to like untarp it, unstrap it, unpack it, and then we didn't have to repack it, which was super nice. I was really dreading that. So it was actually pretty quick. We went in, talked to some people, and then we left. Yep. Our plan was originally to, on the 3rd day, enter into Canada, and it is the night of the 2nd day. So we are ahead of schedule, which feels super nice, but we are gonna have to deal with something that's kind of serious. Someone is getting very car sick. She hasn't thrown up yet, but she keeps putting her head down there, and we're assuming that that means that she's not feeling very good. So that's going to be on tonight/tomorrow morning's task, that hopefully we have that figured out before we start driving again tomorrow, because we want to keep kind of cruising, but we don't want to make her feel worse than she's already feeling. So we're in Canada right now, in Alberta, and I'm pretty sure there's some forest fires because it is so smoky and super, super windy, which is a bad combination. However, we just stopped for gas, and the front of our camper is kind of ripped open. So we're gonna add a bunch more straps to this. I'm not quite sure how many more we need to add, but we gotta assess that. They evacuated the entire town due to fires. Happening way out there, some wildfires, and that is the direction we are heading. We are trying to beat all of the road closures. So right now there's a lot of wildfires wildfires happening around Canada, in Alberta. And we've passed now 2 towns that have been evacuated, I guess. So there's no gas, you can't get anything, there's no services at all. We still have half a tank of gas, and I think there's just one more fire that we need to get past right now, and hopefully we can do that before that town that's near it gets evacuated. But we'll see. We're not really sure what's happening. We're just, I don't know what to say.
As long as we don't run out of gas. We got an extra 5 gallons in the camper.
Hopefully my dad's not right and we shouldn't have gotten a second tank of gas. We'll see if he can say, I told you so. Where we're going right now actually looks pretty clear. The smoke is kind of arching up over the road, but yeah. Over in that direction, we can actually see the smoke still like billowing up further past the trees. It looks like when there's a forest fire, they take out equipment and they just start digging up the dirt to try to draw a line so the fire doesn't cross it. So it looks like we're going to the side and around it, which is good. You can really see the difference between the smoke that's coming up and the clear sky. Oh, it's crazy. I don't know if you can see that, but the power line poles, some of them have actually burnt completely down and the lines are just hanging.
Exit the roundabout onto Highway 2.
There it is. The
Continue
Alaskan
on British Columbia
Highway.
97 for 49 kilometers.
That road is closed. Jug of water. Ready to use it if they need to.
Driving through the Rockies on a gravel road.
I think it's time for a swim. We found the best candidate to take a bath. Yeah? Okay.
Might be a little cold because there's still ice.
Yeah, so there's still ice right up there. But this water is crystal clear.
And real cold.
Really cold. And we're really sweaty and dirty.
You're okay.
This feels so good though.
Oh, it's so cold. Oh, it's so cold. Oh, my feet are numb. It's so cold. There's no way. How did you do this?
Hey, it's okay. Woo!
Oh!
Oh,
Wow, that was really
that was
cold.
so good. Oh, I feel so good. Worth it?
Yeah, my feet are still numb.
So worth it.
I got water in my
Someone
ear.
is extremely jealous she didn't get to, but next time, once we're in Alaska. right, back on the road. Oh my gosh. Oh. It is so pretty. Ah!
Wow, that was cold.
So yesterday we were racing against some wildfires, trying to get ahead of them. And then today we might be having a transmission failure on the truck.
Yeah, we're currently in 5th gear, going downhill with a bunch of weight behind us, and I still have to push the pedal in pretty good just to be able to keep moving forward. The rattling is happening up front underneath our feet, and stopped and asked some other guys and got their opinions, and it sounds like probably a transmission issue. The situation isn't great because we are in the middle of the Rocky Mountains in British Columbia. There's no cell phone service. We don't have a sat phone. We have no way to contact anybody. And we're just barely limping along. The amount of fuel I'm consuming just trying to keep us moving forward, I'm sure we're going to run out at some point and going to be a problem. A lot of what ifs going on right now. I'm not sure if we're going to, what we're going to do. So that's our current situation.
Basically, the worst case scenario that we're imagining right now is that the transition it goes out right now, and then we're kind of just stuck here. And if that happens, we have to rely on someone who drives by that wants to stop and talk to us and beg them for help.
We'd have to just abandon the trailer and truck on the side of the road and go with somebody to town and see if we can find somebody to help us. But the closest town that might even have a possibility of having somebody that would be willing to help us is still, what, 2 hours away?
Yeah, I'm not really sure, again, because we don't have cell service. I'm kind of just estimating how long it's going to be. I don't think it'll be more than 2 hours, but I don't know.
It's a long ways.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to talk worst case scenario about this trip, this is where it's going to happen, and this is what's going to happen. So we're just going to go really slow. We're going to try to get as far as we can. Every little bit further we go just means we're that much closer to help when something does go wrong. But
something has gone wrong. It just hasn't gone catastrophic yet.
when something gets worse, then how about that? All right, that's our update. Just to keep everyone in the loop, a little ways back on this road, we just hit a gigantic bump and we didn't see it, and we were going way too fast, so we popped one tire on this side, which is fine, whatever, manageable. But in doing so, the frame of our trailer is actually bent now. So it bent right here on both sides, and the back is hanging a little bit low.
A lot of bit low.
A lot a bit low. We're gonna try to limp it into town, which we were told is an hour away. We still don't have any cell service, so this is the best we've got. This top board is broken, so we're holding it up with a ratchet strap because that's all we have.
Also, it seems like this tire is starting to rub on the inside, which we cut back hoping it wouldn't, but it seems there's a little bit of scuffing, and I think that's what caused that one to pop.
Other than that, I think I'm on the brink of just calling it for the night.
Yeah, but we have an hour drive, so we gotta get to town, preferably before it gets too dark.
Oh, I want to cry. Our truck all of a sudden looks different. We just got done driving 5 hours from Watson Lake to Whitehorse, where we picked up a 10-foot U-Haul truck and a 12 with the pop-up camper into Whitehorse, and then we left it at the U-Haul place where we're taking this truck and trailer back to Watson Lake, where our current trailer full of stuff is sitting. So we have to drive back there, and then we have to try to transfer as much of the stuff as we can that weight allows from our trailer into the U-Haul trailer, and then we have to drive back to Whitehorse, pick up our camper and truck, and then Cody and I are going to be splitting up. One of us is going to drive our truck, and then the other one's going to be driving the U-Haul, and then we can finally start making our way back to Alaska and actually get some progress on this road trip. So today was pretty much a wash. It sucked. It is. It's starting. It's 11 o'clock at night right now.
And we're just starting our drive back to Watson Lake.
Yeah, we pretty much wasted today, but I mean, at least we have a plan now. It's better than when we started this morning. We didn't have a single plan. We had no clue. I don't know. We're still learning things. We did finally get some answers on what happened with the trailer and the tire situation. When we went over that huge, basically, hole in the ground,
It was a big drop.
yeah, so when we hit that drop, it bent the frame of our trailer, which caused the axle to be shifted over, which caused the tire to start rubbing on the trailer, and then that's what caused the tire to pop. When we brought it to a few different people and had them look at it, and pretty much everyone said it was a lost cause. Took a while to kind of figure out what our next game plan was going to be, which option would be the best. No matter what option it was, we knew we were going to be spending a good amount of money. We also learned kind of why the transmission is going bad, and that really is on us. Neither of us knew that when you're checking the transmission fluid, the vehicle can't be off, because when the vehicle's off, it'll look like it's full and it's fine, but you have to check it when it's running. So when we checked it when it was running, we were pretty much on empty, so we were empty. So we just drove 2,000 plus miles with our transmission fluid on empty through the Rocky Mountains.
We put in 2 liters of transmission fluid before it even registered on the dipstick, and then we put in an additional liter to get it up to an okay point.
So 3 liters of transmission fluid later, at least the truck isn't driving any worse than what it was. It's not going to fix the problem, but hopefully we can limp it along a little bit further. And
it seems to be driving, it just sounds like it's full of rocks.
yeah. I guess the biggest lesson that we learned is if you're going to go through the Rocky Mountains, you have to go slow. You have to be super cautious, and if you're hauling a lot of weight, don't do it with just one vehicle, because if something goes wrong, there's no cell service anywhere and you're pretty much stranded. Yeah. Which we learned.
Lessons learned.
Lesson learned. But we're fine. We're making it. We have a plan. And I absolutely hate driving through these Rocky Mountains. And Cody's getting sick of me.
Oh yeah. I like driving the hills and seeing the scenery and pointing out the mountains. I point out a mountain and then I glance over at Lori and I just see tears streaming down her face and she's gripping onto the door handle.
That only happened once.
I don't know about that.
I'm not gonna lie, there have been a lot of tears today, but I am blaming it on very unfortunate circumstances and basically no sleep. What do you do? I mean,
Tonight's gonna be no sleep.
tonight's gonna be another rough one. And then honestly, the rest of our drive is gonna be pretty rough too. But we have, after today, we have 4 days in order to load up all of our stuff, finish this drive, our property, unload all of our stuff, and then we have to bring the U-Haul stuff, and we actually get to drop it off in Anchorage. So we have 4 days to do all of that, which means nothing can go wrong anymore. We're on a timeline. And we'll see how that goes, because our record isn't very good when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know, lots of driving for tonight. We are officially on our property, and it's a good thing we have our snow boots, because there's still snow everywhere. And this, whoa, is what we just drove through. And that's what our entire drive looks like.
That was the nicer part.
I'm starting to regret everything about this decision right now.
Get our driveway cleared.
Cody's super excited.